BMW built the S54, the B58, the N52. Some of the greatest engines in automotive history. They also built an engine with bearing clearances so tight it destroys itself before 50,000 miles. Another one that guzzles oil so fast it triggered a class action lawsuit. And a diesel with the timing chain mounted at the back of the engine, where you cannot reach it without removing the entire motor. 5 BMW engines, billions in repair bills. Let us begin. When BMW gets it right, nobody does it better. The inline 6 is their signature, the 50/50 weight distribution, the ultimate driving machine. For decades, BMW meant engineering excellence, precision, reliability even. And then something changed. Somewhere around 2006, BMW started chasing technology for the sake of technology. Twin-scroll turbos, direct injection, hot V configurations, variable valve timing with tolerances so tight that a missed oil change could mean a new engine. These technologies are not bad on their own, but BMW rushed them to market before they were ready. And the owners paid the price, not with inconvenience, with catastrophic engine failures, with four-figure repair bills on cars that were 3 years old, with class action lawsuits that proved BMW knew about these problems and sold the cars anyway. Today, we are counting down the 5 worst BMW engines ever made. These are not just unreliable engines. These are engineering decisions that cost real people real money. And if you are shopping for a used BMW right now, this list could save you everything. Number 5. The BMW N47 2-liter diesel, produced from 2007 to 2015. Found in the 1 Series, 3 Series, 5 Series, X1, and X3. This was BMW's bread-and-butter diesel engine across Europe, South Africa, and India. Millions were sold, and BMW made one catastrophic design decision that haunts every single one of them. They put the timing chain at the back of the engine, against the firewall. Most engines have the timing chain at the front, where a mechanic can access it in a few hours. The N47 requires removing the engine from the car or drop the subframe just to inspect the chain. That alone would be annoying. And it gets worse. The timing chain guides on early N47 engines, 2007 through 2009 builds especially, are made of plastic that degrades over time. When the guides fail, the chain stretches, skips, and eventually snaps. And when a timing chain snaps on an interference engine, the pistons meet the valves. Game over. New engine. Owners report chain failures as early as 40,000 miles. The sweet spot for catastrophic failure is between 60 and 100,000 miles. Repair cost if you catch it early? $3,000 to $5,000. Repair cost if the chain snaps? You are looking at a full engine replacement. $8,000 to $12,000 on a diesel BMW that is worth maybe $15,000. In Germany, BMW eventually extended the warranty on some N47 models. In South Africa, India, and most other markets, nothing. Same engine, same problem. Different warranty depending on where you bought it. A timing chain at the back of the engine that can snap at 60,000 miles. And that is number 5. Trust me, it gets worse. Because number 4 is an engine BMW fans actually love. And that makes it even more dangerous. Number 4. The BMW N54, 3-liter twin-turbo inline 6. 2006 to 2016. Found in the 3, 35i, 1, 35i, 5, 35i, Z4, and the X6. The N54 was BMW's first mass-production twin-turbo engine, and on paper it is brilliant. 300 horsepower, smooth power delivery, the foundation for one of the best tuning platforms in modern history. Stage 1 tune gets you 400 horsepower. Stage 2 pushes past 450. The aftermarket loves this engine. The problem? The N54 breaks more things than a toddler in a china shop. High-pressure fuel pump failure. So widespread that BMW issued a recall and extended the warranty to 10 years or 120,000 miles. That is BMW admitting they shipped a broken part in every single N54 they built. Fuel injectors. BMW went through more than 10 revisions trying to fix them. They still fail. Wastegate rattle. The turbo wastegates develop a rattling sound that worsens over time. The fix? 2 brand new turbochargers. Non-serviceable. On a 335i, that is $3,000 to $5,000 in turbo replacement alone. Then you have carbon buildup from direct injection, valve cover leaks, water pump failure, Vanos solenoid issues, and charge pipe blowouts. The N54 is a parts cannon. It fires off failures one after another like it is on a schedule. And the cruel part? The engine block itself is nearly indestructible. The internals are overbuilt. Tuners have pushed these to 800 horsepower on stock internals. The N54 is a legendary engine trapped inside a catastrophic support system. You could not design a more frustrating ownership experience if you tried. An engine where the block is bulletproof but everything around it fails. Frustrating. But number 3? Number 3 does not even give you a warning. It just dies. If you are shopping for a used BMW and want to avoid a financial disaster, hit subscribe. We cover the engines worth trusting, the ones that will drain your bank account, and everything in between. Now, back to the countdown. Number 3, the BMW N20 and its N26 variant. 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 2011 to 2017. Found in the 3 Series, 4 Series, 5 Series, X1, X3, and the Z4. This engine was BMW's replacement for the naturally aspirated inline 6s that built the brand's reputation. A 4-cylinder turbo where a smooth 6 used to be. Some enthusiasts never forgave BMW for that. But nobody cares about the cylinder count. What kills this engine is the timing chain. BMW recalled over 50,000 vehicles equipped with the N20 engine for timing chain tensioner failures. The tensioner can fail without warning, allowing the chain to skip or break. And because the N20 is an interference engine, just like the N47. When the chain goes, the engine goes with it. Owners report failures between 40 and 80,000 miles. Some as early as 30,000, on a BMW that cost $45,000 to $55,000 new. The symptoms are subtle. A slight rattle on cold start, maybe a check engine light. By the time most owners notice something is wrong, the damage is already done. The tensioner has already failed. The chain is already stretched. And the repair bill, $2,000 to $4,000 if caught early, full engine replacement if not, is already unavoidable. 50,000 recalled. But how many more were built with the same defective tensioner and never recalled? The N20 was BMW's most common engine for half a decade. Millions of cars. And every single one has a ticking time bomb behind the timing cover. 50,000 recalled for a timing chain that kills the engine without warning. Bad. But number 2? Number 2 did not just fail. It triggered a class action lawsuit, and the documents prove BMW knew exactly what was happening. Number 2, the BMW N63 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, 2008 to 2019. Found in the 550i, 650i, 750i, X5, and X6, BMW's flagship V8 for over a decade, and one of the most controversial engines in automotive history. The N63 uses a design BMW calls Hot V. The turbochargers sit between the cylinder banks instead of on the outside. This saves space and reduces turbo lag. It also cooks the engine alive. The turbos generate enormous heat. That heat soaks into the engine, the oil, and every component in the vicinity. The result? Catastrophic oil consumption. Owners reported adding oil every 1 to 2,000 miles. Not a little oil, quarts. BMW's own technical service bulletins acknowledged the problem. But BMW sold these cars for over a decade before the lawsuits forced a response. In September 2015, a class action lawsuit was filed against BMW of North America. Isley versus BMW. The lawsuit alleged that BMW knew the N63 consumed excessive oil and sold the vehicles anyway. A settlement was eventually reached covering 2013 through 2019 models. BMW offered owners reimbursement of about $900 for unsuccessful oil consumption tests, free oil top-offs, and up to 3 oil consumption tests, with a possible engine replacement if the car failed. $900. For a V8 that guzzles oil like a cargo ship, burns bunker fuel, on a car that cost $80,000 to $120,000 new. Beyond the oil, N63 owners report injector failures, turbo coolant line leaks, valve stem seal degradation, and electrical gremlins that would make a British car blush. You pay 80 grand for a BMW flagship and still end up topping off oil at every gas station. Let that math do the talking. A class action lawsuit, technical service bulletins, and BMW still sold the N63 for 11 more years. But that is number 2. Number 1 is worse, because number 1 does not just cost you money. It destroys the engine you paid a premium to own. Number 1. The BMW S63 V8 and its big brother, the S85 V10, found in the E90 and E92 M3 and the E60 M5 and M6, 2005 to 2013. These engines were developed from BMW's Formula One program. BMW took their F1 engine program and put it in a road car. The S65 revs to 8,400 RPM. The S85 revs to 8,250. They sound like nothing else on the road. They are engineering marvels. And they have a fatal flaw that has destroyed thousands of engines. Rod bearing failure. BMW used the same narrow-width connecting rods from the race program but replaced the titanium with forged steel. They kept the bearing clearances at 1/1000th of an inch. The industry standard is 2.5 thousandths. That is less than half the recommended clearance. The bearings do not get enough oil. They overheat. They wear prematurely. And when a rod bearing spins, the engine is finished. Not damaged, not repairable, finished. Owners report bearing failures as early as 30,000 miles. The recommended preventive replacement is before 70,000 miles. Preventive rod bearing replacement costs $3,500 to $4,500. That is the preventive number. To fix a problem that should not exist on a car that costs $60,000 to $80,000. If you do not do it and a bearing spins, full engine replacement, $25,000 or more. At a track day in 2021, 2 separate E90 M3S spun rod bearings on the same day at the same circuit. The S65 and S85 are the most exciting engines BMW has ever built. They are also the most expensive gamble in the used car market. Every time you turn the key, you are betting that today is not the day a 1/1000th of an inch clearance decides to fail. Now, before you swear off BMW forever, let me tell you something important. BMW also built some of the greatest engines in history, and 3 of them deserve a mention. The M54 Inline 6, found in the E46 3 Series and E39 5 Series. Naturally aspirated, silky smooth, and genuinely reliable. 300,000 miles is routine. The N52, the last naturally aspirated inline 6, found in the E93 28i and the E65 25i. Lighter than the M54, just as smooth and nearly as reliable, and the B58. BMW's current turbo inline 6, found in the M340i, Supra, X3 M40i, and the Z4. The B58 fixed nearly every problem the N54 and N55 had. Stronger internals, better fuel system, improved turbo design. Tuners are already pushing these past 600 horsepower on stock internals. The B58 might be the best engine BMW has ever built. So the lesson is not to avoid BMW. The lesson is to know which BMW engines to avoid. And if you have watched this far, you now know exactly which ones they are. So tell me, which BMW engine burned you the worst? Was it the N47 timing chain that snapped without warning? The N54 that nickeled and dimed you into bankruptcy with its parts cannon routine? The N20 that died at 50,000 miles on a car you were still making payments on? The N63 that drank more oil than fuel? Or the S65 that turned your M3 dream into a $25,000 nightmare? Drop your story in the comments. And if you are currently shopping for a used BMW, tell me which model you are looking at. I will tell you if it is a buy or a run. That is what this community is for. BMW builds some of the greatest cars on the planet. They also build some of the most expensive mistakes. The difference between the two comes down to knowing which engine is under the hood. Like this video if it saved you from a bad purchase. Subscribe if you want more deep dives into the engines and cars that actually matter. The good, the bad, and the catastrophically expensive. Next week, we are covering something completely different. Why your car loses 30% of its value in year 1 and how to beat it. You will not want to miss that one. I will see you in the next one. Until then, drive smart, buy smarter.